Hello, welcome to TO Markets price action analysis videos. It's Jan Mota, your chief market analyst at TO Markets, and today we have to take a look at what's happening with CAD yen, as we had the news that both the President Trump and his wife Melanie have tested positive for COVID-19. So that caused a bit of buying in yen, and that's why we want to know what's been happening with this CAD yen pair as we have been lately analyzing it, and I want to share some thoughts on it now. But before we move forward, please do remember that even though we do successful analysis here, we don't provide investment advice, and you should only proceed watching this video if you agree that with this disclaimer, especially with the fact that this is only educational material and not investment advice. So the last time we were analyzing this pair, this currency pair, it basically was trading at around 79.41, which is an area that was too much for this pair to hold. And I was actually expecting the market to retrace back to 79.09 or so. That was the sort of the upper end of the sideways movement here. And I was basically saying that if we see buyers coming in around that area, if we see buy signals there, that would be the idea for us to go long. Now with this news that we had today, the people were buying so much yen that the price just plummeted through this level. And now we have the question of where is the market going from here? It's at the moment it's kind of struggling with a little bit with this level 79.09. So the question is, can it go above it, or will it go lower and maybe break the latest low that it has created? If we go to 2-hour chart, we can see that yes, we have a candle ready here already. It's basically indicating that the buyers were waiting here, coming in at 78.74 area roughly. Now we don't know if the market is going to create a higher low, or if it's going to now fall down and go to these next levels here that might come into play. I think that whichever way we look at this, we have still an upward tendency here, but so at the moment it is looking good, but it's not looking as good as it was up there. That's basically because the market now has done something different than we expected. It just didn't retrace back to that level here and then bounce higher, but it just penetrated through. So we have a potential resistance area here now. And also we have some news in the market that we didn't have before, and the news is that the US president just before the US election has COVID-19, and we don't know how that is going to affect the process. So there's lots of uncertainty. Okay, when markets are uncertain, they tend to go for liquid assets like yen and USD. Now in this case, this yen buying was stopped here, and we could see the market now just fluctuating sideways because it is an NFP Friday today. So obviously it's hard to see people taking very strong positions before they know what the NFP numbers are, or before there is more news about Mr. Trump's health, how it is developing, and that might take a few days. So what else should we look at here? I think it's reasonable to bring this target 1 down and target 2 as well. It's a slightly different picture now, so we have more uncertainty with this idea, and the market might fluctuate longer here, and then we see if it creates a higher low. But if it rallies from here, then I think this is a reasonable range for target 1 from about 79.30 to 79.60, and target 2 from about 79.75 to 79.90 roughly. So I would basically say look forward to more volatility today because it's an NFP Friday and there might be no more developments from the US and more information on what potential changes to his health, to Mr. President's health are. But we have to also ask what other risks there could be related to this setup. Now that it is a little more complicated, so let's take a deeper look at how CAD-yen pair is correlated with some relevant asset classes. Canadian economy is obviously highly correlated with their main product, crude oil. And so if the crude oil price goes up, it's more likely that the value of the Canadian dollar goes up and vice versa. You can see here in this chart where we have the crude oil price on black and Canadian CAD-yen on red. You can see that there is a rough correlation there. When the oil price goes up, the CAD-yen tends to go higher, and when the oil price comes down, CAD-yen tends to go lower. So now we have oil reacting lower from this high of 80.82 roughly, and this has impacted. Now it's possible that if this continues, it's basically oil is close to this low here, so it might find support and bounce a little bit, but with higher low in place, often it means that the next supporting low is in danger to be taken out. So if the oil market keeps on pushing lower, there is added a sort of risk to our Canadian or CAD-yen idea that we put out earlier. So this is one of the factors, and obviously we want to keep on monitoring this, and I would say be careful today if you trade this currency pair before NFP news. So as usual, I would advise you to trade carefully, never trade without stops. And now that we have the NFP news coming out, it makes sense to wait for the market to reveal the real intent it has, so to speak. Because when you don't know what the NFP numbers are and you don't know how the market will react to those numbers when they are released, then you have two unknowns, and that doesn't mean you have an edge. So it definitely means that you should wait until the news are out, and once you see the market reaction, then you have more information on which to act and then take reasonable trades. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.